Hello friends, this is Sharmi with the Amateur Gardener, coming back to you with a garden tour video today. We'll try to take you around to things that are mostly blooming and flourishing right now. It is actually a little bit chilly today, and considering it's early April and this is Houston, it should not be this way, but we are going to have a little bit of temperatures in the 40s and 50s, which we call cold here. Okay, let me take you along. Okay, this is the front of my garden bed, and as you can see, the cycad is starting to flush out, and these are the suburban pink cashmere from last year in the front. They are starting to flush out, and then I planted a whole bunch of annuals here, mostly Supertunia jazzberry and some tiara blue, and then I already had some dianthus in here, white and magenta, and then here are some more of the suburban pink cashmere. I always leave around my mums and they spread. You can see some mums that are starting to bloom here, the more bigger specialty mums. Some of my roses are blooming. That one is an onyx rose. I'll show you from the other angle. That's a peaches and cream. And then those are some of my David Austin. Going to the other side, some of my amaryllis are in bloom. You can see these are like double white amaryllis. And then my red ones haven't started yet. These are my tree farm roses. This one is a carding mill. Let me take you closer. Okay, I have some Japanese maple here that are starting to flush out. This is an Eastern Redbud that has flushed out. This one is an Appalachian Redbud, I believe. And then I just planted some Lisianthus seedlings here. Again, the Superbina here is not blooming yet, but it will. And then I planted some more annuals here, mostly Supertunia and dianthus. Some of my lilies are starting to poke their heads. I have a whole clump of them here. Let me take you to the other side. This is my Texas Mountain Laurel. This has already finished its bloom. This is more like a shady space. I have two hydrangeas here that I'll show you later. And this one is an Acanthus. Oh wow, this one is going to be blooming pretty nice soon. I can see some more here. Produces wonderful flowers. Showing you the roses from this side. Did plant some cosmos here this morning, a whole line of it. My hyacinths are coming back. As you can see, some are just poking their heads and some are already done. Another view of the front bed from here. Let me take you closer to the roses. This is Olivia Jane Austen, and this one is Desdemona. I planted a jessamine there. That one is doing now much better. This is my rising sun redbud that has already leafed out. Giving you another look at the rising sun. I love this color. You can see like it has like a little bit of light green, yellow and orange leaves at the same time. So wonderful. The other strip between my property and my neighbors has some homestead verbena here that is spreading, and I'm not minding it. If it spreads to this whole area, I won't mind it. I love this color. It's pulling this off, but this is such a pretty color. Okay, my iceberg roses, the little hedge of that's looking beautiful, and then the magenta dianthus at the bottom. These are my Lisianthus. This is their second year, so I expect a wonderful show. To me, Lisianthus typically are biennials, and these, I don't know what color it is, but we'll find out. I think it may be purple. The manuals here, I have two, I think it's August Beauty, two gardenias. I have some camellias, some Rose of Sharon's. One's a bush one and one's a much taller one. I think one's white and one's pink. And then my Ginkgo is fully leafed out. This is Ginkgo biloba. American is the variety. And this one is my Seiryu Japanese maple that has also leafed out almost fully. Some of the top branches still have to leaf out. I love it. Okay, I have some delphiniums there. These are the ones that actually will grow in zone 9. At least we'll see how it does here. Delphinium delgenius subtype. Okay, and then of course my rock and plain the blues salvia that always comes back, and then the veranda white rose. This is a cordis rose. Again, my usual stuff. My podocarpus, my yellow and variegated gardenia. My variegated hydrangea is starting to have little buds all over. And then these were in my winter pots, the kale that I transplanted here because they were looking so awesome. I have some astilbe coming back, as you can see, and then some of the dicentra that's also coming back. I think I have a bunch there, a bunch in between here, and a bunch there. Okay, this is apricot echo. This is an osmanthus fragrance. That's a beautiful camellia that's leafed out very nicely. This one is Duke Gardens podocarpus, sea of gold juniper. There's another camellia there. Missed something. I have a video on it. And then this is my patch of hellebores. As you can see, these have already bloomed out. This is starting new blooms, and then these are fresh blooms. These blooms last for a long time. As you can see, even after the petals fall off, the sepals stay, like the bracts, as you may call it, but these stay for like months, and they look equally pretty. I have some lower petalum here that hasn't bloomed yet. It should soon. Another iris here. Okay, and on this side I have a clematis. It's just starting to leaf out. It still has some squiggly branches. After it fully leaves out, I'll cut off the dead and the dying parts. This side I have a rose. It's hard to believe that this is a rose. It's completely thornless rose. It is Lady Banks rose, supposed to be yellow, and we'll see. I haven't gotten any blooms yet, but I'm hoping for some, so we'll see how it does. It's a little bit of a windy day today. That's another tough stuff hydrangea. Beautiful blooms starting to form. And then this one is another of my Japanese maples. This one is mostly showing you what's blooming right now. This is my Savannah rose that's in bloom. There'll be a lot of lilies coming up from here. There is another Japanese maple there. That's a backwing Japanese maple. I think it's Kamisaka Nishiki. There is a kaleidoscope abelia there in the back. And this year I do expect blooms from my Ilenhof hydrangea. This is an oak leaf hydrangea. This is going to be its third year. This plant is Ray Ponton rose. And then turning around, isn't this amazing? There are several roses here. These two are the red ones are the proven winners, also easy red roses. And then this one is a moonlight in Paris that is blooming its heart off. I plan to cut it back to at least half the size after it finishes its blooms. Then we cleaned up this bed and just planted beans here mostly, the first three. And the back three, they're in kind of partial shade because this tree, once it leaves out fully, this is a 2-in-1 tree. This side is mostly apricot and that other side is plum. It doesn't give a lot of sunlight, but we had planted sweet potatoes here a couple of years back and it keeps coming back. So this one is coming back again. I'll just let it come back. This one is my huge pomegranate tree. Hopefully we get some. This side did plant some bitter gourd and some of them have volunteered themselves. Still to decide on what we do here. Planted some cantaloupe here and some lima beans on this side. Oh, and then this is my Arctic Frost Satsuma mandarin. Just covered the base of it. Did practically fine. I may not even cover it this coming year. I just cut back a few of the top dead twigs, and it's doing great. Okay. My philodendron, nothing to worry about. As always, it comes back. All my lilies are coming out from here. This is my Clematis Armandii. Has lots and lots of buds. These are my azaleas that have nearly finished blooming. Hydrangeas starting to bud up. This is my big fat hibiscus here, and that's my gun and smoke camellia that is leafing out. I have a ginger there. I may need to do something for it to not spread beyond that area. It's a yellow ginger. I think it's called kahile ginger. This one is a leopard plant or ligularia, and this is crispata variety that I had completely cut back to basically a few leaves, but it's flushed out. This is another hydrangea. I had issues with my hydrangeas being pruned too hard this year without my consent, but looks like some of them are still going to have flowers. We'll see. That one is a fairly newer one, and that one was planted earlier this year. It's a larger old school hydrangea. I'll have to put the name up. That one is a sweet caress mahonia. That one is blooming out. This is another of the crispata, and that's the ligularia. That's the giganteum variety. This hydrangea, I believe, has definitely been pruned too much, but I do see some blooms. So, and again here I do see some blooms. So hopefully we get some. Yep, I do see some. Some of them I will get a little bit of a show, not as much as I wanted to or expected to. I have some oxalis here that I let it go because this is like complete shade, nothing else grows here. And then I have a fragrant camellia there, and then this one is a sweet autumn clematis. It can be a bully. I might just cut it back if it is. I don't think over there it doesn't have much areas to spread. We'll see how it does. If it's too much of a bully, I'll take it out. I have impatiens in between just for color. Haven't paid much attention to this bed. Has some Brigadoon St. John's wort, and the others are just starting to flush out. I have some bobo hydrangeas here, I think 2 of them here, and then some estrelitas here. So you can see the clumps are still there. And then buddleia. This one is just starting up. This is a Peruvian lily. And then quickly giving you at what is flushing out here. This one is a Big Daddy hydrangea. I do expect a lot of blooms here. And then that one is the original hydrangea. That's another, I think it's Munchkin hydrangea. It's a smaller variety of a oak leaf hydrangea. Okay, just running past my vegetable garden. These are my peppers. You can see peppers are already there. Some bell peppers are also there. More peppers. This one has potatoes in it, and these 2 beds are for tomatoes. Okay, and then this is one of my Peggy Martins. Let me give you a full view. This arbor is pretty tall. I always try to put this branch here, but with the wind it's hard to manage. It is going to be blooming for the next month so much. Okay, here, this is a pretty tall trellis. I think it's like 114 inches. So we put a hanging basket there. That one has a jasmine. And what else? We have a night blooming jasmine here. Lots of Achillea or yarrow here that is starting to bloom, and I let the yarrow spread. I'd rather have yarrow here and Russian sage on that side than weeds. I have a monarda here, and I do have a buddleia. It's going to come back, and that one is bobo hydrangea. It should all come back. Okay, this side you can see another rose. It's also a Peggy Martin. It's a smaller one. Last year my plant had come all the way across this fence and had come to this side, and it got rooted, self-rooted, and it's starting to take off from this side. Okay, have a hanging basket here. Another one here just has one jazzberry in it. Have a beautiful, still you can see a lot of weeds. I have to de-weed this area quite a bit. This side also has an ageratum and jazzberry. This is a hibiscus. I don't know, I might take it off. Okay, this is my pergola area. Hanging baskets with philodendrons, the climbing ones. And then we have 3 supertunia hanging baskets. These are my planters, planted a little over a couple of weeks ago. They look awesome. We had some rain today, and this is how they look. And at the back I have a camellias. I think that's lime time, and there is an ageratum there, and there is a spike here. Okay, and quick look at my planters here. Look pretty beautiful. Especially impressed with the geraniums that were done from seed. What else? 2 planter boxes here. This one just has annuals in them. Love the color. That one I'm still to decide what I'm supposed to do with it. Okay, this is my second Peggy Martin. As you can see, it's completely loaded. This peony is done. Okay, this is my other hydrangea bed on this side, and these hydrangeas are not as mature as the other side. There's one there. I have some impatiens here and there in between. There's another one there. They're just starting to leaf out. Another one hydrangea here, another at the back. This one is a Clematis. I think it's I'm forgetting the name, I'll have to look it up. But that one is from Proven Winners, and that's another hydrangea there. These are Supertunia Bordeaux leftover from last year. This is Itea. I think this is Fizzy Mizzy. This one is going to put on a show here, and it's getting beautiful and bigger by the year. This is, I believe it's 3rd year. Some of them have been spreading, so there's another one that's cropping up here or there. I might put it at other different places. I didn't expect it to spread, but it is, and I don't actually mind it. I might pull out the ones I don't want and keep the ones I do. This one is toad lilies, and I want to keep it contained, so I might pull out some of these ones, and because I have a sedum there. And this is a clematis, but this is an evergreen clematis. It's actually my tallest and my largest trellis. It should fill up. This is Clematis Armandii. I have some alstroemeria here. It's just starting to bloom. You can see some there, and then some here. Another alstroemeria, and then I have some verbena, again another clematis. This one is the Vancouver, I think, sea breeze variety. And then I planted some Acanthus here. You'll see it later. These are some of my amaryllis, and some hydrangea here, some more amaryllis, some foxglove, some more verbena. These are my hostas that are coming back. The hollyhock is not in great shape, but I'm going to cut it back, and it should flush out again. And these are my hydrangeas, but these are the invincible sublime type hydrangeas. Again, more hosta, some columbine that always come back, some celosia, and I can see some cleome that are self-seeding. This is my bay leaf or bay laurel plant, and the hibiscus there, that's going to come back later. 2 fig trees. One's little mixed figgy, and is one's Chicago hardy fig. That's beautyberry. That's one spirea, apple. These are eggplants, and they are a wonder to me because they weren't covered, they weren't done anything, and they are coming back. These were planted last year. Okay, I have some hibiscus here that's just flushing out, and that one is rose of Sharon, another taller rose of Sharon. Dwarf peach tree that's not dwarf anymore, looking quite big. We have some red black-eyed Susan here, or Rudbeckia, that is kind of spreading, and I like it to spread. I'd better take Rudbeckia over weeds any day. And then I have some salvia that's self-seeded, and that's perfectly fine. Don't have much here, some salvia there. And then this one is a Pride of Barbados. It's the yellow variety, showing off beautifully. Okay, this one is a disaster. This is the Barbados cherry tree. I am not going to plant it, not taking care of it. I did protect it somewhat, but it still didn't make it. So I cannot babysit trees so much. So if it doesn't make it, out it goes. These are my okra. This is a beautiful rose, one of the most floriferous roses that I have. Let me show you from this angle. This is the Awakening Rose. It's in the New Dawn family. And then this is one of my best clematis so far. If you can see, it is like at least 12 feet tall now. Planted in 2021, so this is going to be its 5th season. So if you can see, it is like fully budded up, and I've never seen so many buds. Just look at it. I don't know what this is, but it looks awesome. This whole area has a lot of things. Has some paper white, the little ones that come back in spring and then they go away and then they come back every year. And it has some gora as well. Has some lambsear, multiple clumps of it, and then has a lot of liatris that is coming up. I don't know, there may be like hundreds in there, at least 80 to 100 in there. They are coming up. They should look wonderful later on. Has a kufia there, and then some, and actually lots of rock and plain the blue salvia. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 clumps of them. Have to still deweed this area. Has a lot of daylilies here. This is my apple tree that actually bent over from the load of apples last year. We'll see if we can straighten this. Is loaded with apples. If you can see, I might take some out, but it's just loaded. These are my roses. Have a lot of roses here, and most of these are David Austin roses. There are 5 of them here. And then one is Bliss Parfuma. That's an older rose, but it's not David Austin. These are some salvia. And then this is another, oh my god, this is another apple tree which is now also loaded with apples, as you can see here. Okay, lots and lots of apples. Hopefully this tree doesn't bend over. We have to have some T-posts here. On that tree I do have to do something to support it. This is Madame Plantier rose. Hasn't bloomed for me yet. Waiting for it to bloom. This is Petite Pink Rose from Proven Winners. It blooms all year. This one has already finished its first flush. Has some outstanding buds. This is Baron Provost. I might cut it back. This one is another rose. This is a Generous Gardener. This is Climbing Rose. And then we have this smaller Magnolia. Let me show you this bed. Have some cabbage cauliflower here and some dahlias that are starting to hook up. My peonies did their job. I am so happy. The last peony is done, and I'm going to cut back these buds and let the tree enjoy its life. This one is a limelight hydrangea. I have another one there, and as you can see, it's starting to flush out. This is a smoke tree. I'm going to try an experiment where I don't want it like shrub-like. I want it a tree form. So I'm going to cut off these extra branches, the water sprouts that are coming up from the bottom, and I'm going to try and see if I can try to root them. Okay, showing you my triangle bed. The verbena has almost finished off. I'm going to take a hedge trimmer and trim off the top, and then waiting for the next flush. These are some salvia. These are again rock and plain the blue salvia, and you can see that rose. That is a Munstead rose, and that's also from David Austin, but you can see the the thorns, the amount of thorns he had. There's a bloom there from the mustard wood. Okay, this is an Elizabeth rose, just almost finishing its blooms. There are lots and lots of spent blooms. There are 2 new fresh ones. And then I'm just waiting for this to look a little more sad, and then I'm going to cut this off. I have a honeysuckle here. This one is from Proven Winners. It's a yellowish honeysuckle. Then I have vegetables planted here by the side, different kinds of gourd, and then some cucumber that will take on this trellis. Some cucumber here, and then have some, I think these are some lima beans here, and then these are some butternut squash. Okay, that's it actually for my oh no, a little bit more. And then over here we have 7 new Birdies beds. These are the smaller ones, the 5 feet long beds. Put pepper here, put a few more pepper here, and some tomatoes here. In the middle there is a marigold in each one. I usually just plant marigolds for, you know, co-planting, cross-pollination, that kind of thing. It's just regular marigolds, nothing special. So hopefully you'll like my video. If you did, do hit a like and do subscribe to my channel and do share with your friends and family. And I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.